What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we're going to cover some of the basic terminology you should know when watching competitive Fortnite. If you're familiar with high-level gameplay, these should be commonplace and a nice little refresher. If you're a little newer, buckle in, because you're about to learn up. Rotations. A rotation is the path a player or team takes to get from their current location to the next safe zone. Rotations cover not only the direction the players choose to path, but also the method they use to get there. A lot of different forms of utility enable rotations, including vehicles, rift-to-goes, building, shadow bombs, and glider redeploy. A player's ability to rotate effectively is key because this determines what type of engagements they'll be facing and whether or not they're at an advantage or disadvantage. Gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is when a player who is secure inside the safe zone puts pressure on an opponent who is forced to rotate because of the storm closing in on them. The gatekeeper is able to get uncontested shots onto the opponent, as they are forced to move due to not wanting to take damage from the storm. You will see a lot of top players utilize this in order to create opportunities to get eliminations and points. High ground advantage. High ground advantage is when you have a height advantage over your opponent and are looking down on them. Having the high ground enables you to have more access to information and easier ability to take and hit shots. You will frequently see players battling for high ground in all stages of the game, but in particular during the late game. The ultimate high ground is generally the player or team who controls the highest level during the final circles, and they have a number of advantages. They are typically the least threatened, can decide when to drop down and start taking fights, and also have great angles to punish opponents with AoE weapons or rifle fire. Low ground warrior. The next term is the opposite of the high ground. The low ground warrior is the player looking to sweep along the ground floor, taking close quarter combat fights and forcing opponents to make the first move. This can also be efficient because it often doesn't require as many materials or as much of a risk to gain control of, but can also lead to being in a lot more chaotic of an environment. Backside of the storm. Speaking of chaotic environments, our next term is possibly the most perfect embodiment of this. The backside of the storm is when the safe zone is closing in towards a new one and the players are clustered in towards one edge. Generally, it is very high density of competitors, and you will find a lot of interactions, engagements, disengagements, and eliminations occurring at this point, particularly for those low ground warriors we just talked about. 1x1s. 1x1s are the most basic proponent of building in competitive Fortnite. This is when a player boxes themselves in using their own builds, making them safe from outside fire. This technique can be expanded on to allow for players to take control of a space around them, but it all starts with the 4 walls around you, then a floor plus ceiling that each have a pyramid on them. Tunneling. Tunneling is the first basic expansion of the 1x1s. Tunneling is when players create a tunnel out of their own builds in order to rotate safely. This is typically done by putting out floors and ceilings in either a straight or diagonal path, then covering your sides with walls as you advance. This allows players without utility to rotate for maximum safety. 90s. 90s are when players utilize vertical 90-degree rotational building in order to build upwards as fast as possible, while also remaining covered. This enables players to try and gain high ground advantage or outplay their opponent to get a quick, different angle. You'll frequently see them used in mid-game build fights or in endgame scenarios where players have to build up very quickly. This has been a quick rundown of the common competitive terms that are frequently used on broadcast. If there are any other terms you're unfamiliar with, let us know using the hashtag FortniteWorldCup and asking for an explanation. We hope this helps you level up, and we'll see you all on the battle bus.
We knew it was coming. We knew we had what it took.
10 weeks,
$1 million a week.
Let's go!
I mean, in the end, I just want to win the World Cup.
Welcome to the Fortnite World Cup and the grand final that culminates in New York City for $30 million.
There's 2 players here, backed against the wall. He's back.
He has no builds. You saw him trying to go build.
What?
5 HP.
And into the box, Bala!
That was crazy. Brazil's definitely not one to be taken lightly.
Edits through, dominates him.
Europe always brings the heat.
Yes. It's just out. Oh, no, my God! Oh, my God!
NA West, so much talent here.
If you have the motivation, you can do it.
It's meant the world to me. I've worked so hard for this.
Oh my, what a shot. Oceania.
These guys are phenomenal.
I always screamed at him, like, you need to wake up, bro, like, today is our day.
He gets to 70 again, so he knows that player is on board. He drops down. What?
Brilliant. The Asian region, definitely a region you do not want to take lightly.
Spider-Man against Leeds right now, and he got it out.
NA East, the most stressful and exciting time ever.
You have to learn from every single mistake. You can't blame other people.
Oh, almost.
It's going to be so fun.
It's awesome.
It's astonishing.
This is a dream for us.
Very impressive to me.
Big moment of my life.
Oh, my God.
Everything has led to this moment. Do not miss out.
My duo's prediction for the World Cup is definitely going to be Zayt and Saf. They're always on top. They always know what they're doing. Zayt's a genius. Easy claps.
Savage and Benji.
MSF Flix and Skeptic.
Mitro Mongrel, Benji Savage, Saf and Zayt. There's so many great duos.
Young Count and Backwood.
Flix and Skeptic.
Dubs and Mega.
I have my eyes on Mega and Dubs. They're really good together and they have a really good chemistry.
Ronaldo and Ziv.
Ronaldo and Ziv, they've been top competitors since the start of the pro scene. Consistent every week. Really hope to see them take it.
I mean, there's so many good teams. It's hard to say who's going to win. Saf and Zayt, one of those guys, one of those duos that are more experienced.
Dubs and Mega.
No doubt.
Welcome to the Fortnite World Cup Finals.
We're going to have some of the most awesome Fortnite action for you, starting with the Creative World Cup Final.
What you'll be seeing will be 4 sets of 3 matches in 2 never-before-seen maps. Every match is for $55,000 for the winning team. Hey, Scissors is chilling.
Yeah,
Pumpernickel it up, man. Pumpernickel it up.
Gotta
Look at
love
he's looking around. He's telling him to let him know.
And suddenly Llama Record takes the lead. Nope, Fishman no longer have a free point.
One more goes over, and that's it. Llama Record Co.
All he has to do
Don't
is
step
swipe
out.
just a couple of times. Can he win this trade? And he does not.
No one's in there. Can he find it? And he does. That's it. His feet touch the ground.
He's almost there. He is almost there. The first place can be his. Right now, he can take this lead, Sundown.
But they got control at the same time. It's literally ticking over a half-second away from each other. The shots are going. Cuddle Crew has the lead, though. Will the shot be able to go through? Yes!
Cuddle Crew
he gets
goes
taken
down.
down. And Raven's Revenge in the closest nail-biter yet. And now we are going to go over the stage. We have the results, and your set 1 winner is the Funky Fighters. But we are about to have the world premiere of Junkyard Juke. There's just a level of ridiculousness that I enjoy so much. Just seeing somebody turn themselves into a literal dumpster and then try and weave their way past. It's a lot of fun. Cowdog, that was sick. The Chicken Champions have done enough to round out the final match.
So that confidence boost is going to help dramatically in this last normal set here.
It is actually a race, the world run. It is similar to a death run with a bunch of obstacles. So there's actually 30 coins in the map. Whichever team gets all 30, the fastest or as many as possible until time runs out will be the victor. Jump.
Got it. Last jump, and he's got the coin too.
There you go.
We have the winners of the set. It's gonna be Fish Fam. He just needs 1 more coin. Is it the one on this track? Or is it the one back behind?
You can tell he lifted the finger. He said, we need 1 coin. Just grab this coin right down here. If he can do this without being eliminated.
Here it is. The win. Oh, he missed it, but gets it with the trap trigger. The Fish Fam. Zan clutches up.
And the winner of the Fortnite Creative World Championship is the Fish Fam.
So you got yourself $1 million off of a jump. How does that feel today, my man?
It's unreal. Like, I don't know what to say, to be honest.
Welcome to the Fortnite Pro-Am. All right, folks, the moment you've been waiting for. It is now time for the 3rd Fortnite Pro-Am. The players are loaded into the island. The battle bus is ready to go. It starts right now. King is going to be out. It is all up to Sinnoh here. Wildcat down low. He takes the shot, and it's Sinnoh with a victory royale. He loses the high ground. Jacob, look. Oh!
The side shot of Cloaksy. He has to make something. Neither of them have the HP. No, you can't go on the storm. What's it going to happen? JT Brown has given up the positioning, and he actually connects right there. And JT Brown wraps up Aiden in the final moments of the Pro-Am. Your 2019 Pro-Am winner is Airwalks in RL Grime.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jonesies, Bonesies, and everyone in between, welcome back to the road to the Fortnite World Cup. We're on one of the last stops. We saw Creative and the Pro-Am get off the track yesterday in Bala. We're here today for the duos competition.
Yeah, these guys have been competing since April. Just a number of months. It's been amazing. They have done so much qualifiers in the online opens. There's been heartbreaks and triumphs, close calls, landslides, and today we're about to have some of the most unforgettable Fortnite experience we've ever seen. Again, these guys are competing. They've qualified over the last 5 weeks. Here's the schedule that we already went through. Yesterday, on Friday, the World Cup Creative Finals and also the Pro-Am.
And it was amazing. The creative finals wrapping up in one of the most iconic ways, having Scissors, one of the legendary beginners, the death run who went through, the creator who is there from the start, clutch up in the final moments. You saw Zan there. Now today we will have the duos competition. Pre-show is going on right now, and the show will kick off at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then tomorrow we have the solos competition, as well as that recently announced Marshmello performance that will be happening live.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Today, though, it's all about the duos. We had 5 weeks of open qualifiers. We already awarded $6 million to around the world for these players, and almost over 40 million players competed around the world to try to qualify for today.
And we have the 50 best duo pairings. They will be going at their share of $15 million in the prize pool, and it is all about who is the ultimate victor, because for a lot of these guys, it's about the title. They want the crown of being the first ever duos world champion. They want to walk off that stage knowing they are not one of, but the best in the world. And we are going to get a chance to watch that here live. And more importantly, you're going to get a chance at home. You can check it out on Fortnite.com/watch for a uniquely tailored viewer experience.
Yeah, it's awesome. I took a look at it yesterday. You can look at a bunch of different POVs, some from the first place currently, the second place, and just have basically a viewing experience that we haven't seen before.
And it's really important, particularly for us as analysts. You'll see us out here breaking down some of the plays. Sometimes, though, as a spectator, you just want to watch one individual player. So you want to watch the person who's first in doing that? Awesome, go for it. It'll be there. You just want to see the map and break it down. Shout out to Destiny's Jesus, who I know he'll be doing that, trying to figure out where everyone is out there rotating around. You can do that. We'll have one of those feeds up there, as well as regional representation. So you want to watch the top Brazilian players? We got it. You want to watch the top players out of Asia or Oceania? They'll be on there, as well as the Titans you know from NA and Europe.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can go do that at Fortnite.com/watch or in-game as well.
Yeah, it will be.
Standings.
Yeah, you'll be in-game. You can check out the event, and you can also have that picture-in-picture. So wherever you are, you can check out this amazing Fortnite action, and these pairs are going to be so good. Honestly, I was impressed yesterday with the Pro-Am level of skill, and everyone's like, wow, these endgames are ridiculous. Well, today is going to be not just one exponent, probably an exponent to an exponent of that. The level of skill is ridiculous, but enough from us now. We want to introduce you guys to the players, so we will have the first group now taking the stage out there. And in that group, we have Crimson Spades, Clix and Skeptics, PF Zin and Nyx, Artgram and Falconer, and then Lenon and Tyler 15. I mean, there's so much you could say about this duo, but particularly the one I'm attached to, PF Zin and Nyx. Nyx has been the star coming out of Brazil, the wonder kid. He has turned his heads, but so many of these competitors are on another level.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are keeping their eyes on Clix and Skeptic, because Clix's rise throughout the Fortnite World Cup Online Opens has been meteoric. A lot of people are wondering, how is he going to perform on the stage?
It's definitely a change in environment. Now, these were the Week 2 qualifiers coming out of NA East, NA West, and Brazil. But now on to our next group, the Group 2, which will be out of Asia, Oceania, and, whoa, apologies, just total brain fart right there. End up going through there, but let's get to that next group.
That group is Bell, Scarlet, it's Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, and it's Mongrel and Mitro, and Shinken and Stompy. So this group is absolutely ridiculous. It has some of the biggest names in Fortnite.
And I mean, you can see them out there as well with Mexi and Scram, and then Cover H and Twiz. These are some of the European powerhouses, the first one to come through, but don't count out the Crazy Raccoon Boys coming out of Japan. They will be able to pressure their opponents. I mean, these honestly are some of the crowd favorites. Everybody has known the announcement for Mongo and Mitro. They called it the loudest thing in Fortnite at the time, and they honestly have been making waves.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. Stompy and Shinken, also Cover H and Twiz, which is very interesting. They're coming all the way from OCE.
And don't count out Mexi and Scram, though. We've seen a ton of their gameplay. Scram has been the one to do ridiculous thing in solos, and qualifying in that first week, it was a very tough competition. And Cover H and Twiz, we got to talk with them a little bit, and then we also got to go travel out to Oceania, go down under, and get a chance to interact with these guys. Let's see what it's like over there.
We live in New Zealand. I like the nature, the rivers, the parks, the people are really friendly and keen to have a conversation. Those are probably some of my favorite things.
The best thing in New Zealand for me is the internet. It's really fast, with no lag. Yeah.
Man's got his priorities.
Cover H and Twiz in the #1 spot.
It's actually amazing what these guys are doing right now.
We're the best. We're gonna put OC on the map. We're gonna go to New York. We're gonna smash it.
What? What?
Give me one for the one time. It's gonna be easy.
My name's Sam Pearson. My in-game name is Twiz.
I'm Chris Hunt. My in-game name is Cover H.
That is it.
Actually, what are we even doing?
Ah, easy, man. Easy, step out of your comfort zone. Okay, now it gets steep. Good luck, have fun.
You too, bro. We're pretty great friends in and out of the game. Twiz is like really like loud and crazy. He's like always cracking jokes. He's always doing something to make someone laugh.
Look at this. Look at this beautiful place.
He also forces me into situations I wouldn't want to be in, outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah, hands off, brother.
And I think it just makes me like, like a better person.
Cover's a bit younger than me. He's a really good teammate because he's quite aggressive and he always has his own ideas or own input on what he thinks the game plan should be.
You can't place a wall if you're like right beside it.
He's running past you in shadow form. Get your back.
Hit it once.
Mine down. Opening. What's up, boys? Easy.
Let's go.
We had quite opposite play styles at the start. Cover's quite aggressive. He's the builder and I'm more of a passive shooter.
He boxed up.
We managed to bring our play styles together and we started to find pretty good results.
Play this box?
We played the week 2 duo qualifiers from home. We got a couple of wins. Didn't get too overly excited, and then when we actually found out, that was crazy. It was like the biggest sigh of relief. It was like a massive smile.
Congratulations to Twiz and Cover H.
We're so excited for the World Cup. We can't wait to come over to New York and show everyone what we got.
For us, traveling from New Zealand to New York, it doesn't get much further than that. Over 20 hours of travel.
Oh, it's here, bro. We're gonna get it done. So keen, bro.
Yeah, same. I'm really excited to go. I want to see like Times Square. I want to see all the people, duo partners and friends being able to like share this opportunity. It's going to be good for strengthening our friendship and our chemistry. I'm really keen to go over and be a Kiwi and represent New Zealand in Fortnite.
We've always been the underdogs. I want to prove that like our region, OCE, can actually do well in esports.
The best that we can do is just come in and give it our best crack and try and cause a little bit of an upset.
Love hearing from the boys down under. They're excited to be here. Recently signed by Warriors of the rugby organization, so they want to represent them proud on the stage, and more importantly, they want to represent for Oceania. They're saying, hey, we want to say we left it all on the stage and go with no regrets. Now, on to our next group. We have potentially one of the most veteran pairs in the game. It is Saf and Zayt. Brush and Sizz Lucky, Leno and Burl, and then Nate Hill and Funk Bob. And every single one of these pairs is dangerous in their own right. I mean, Zayt and Saf, they were thought to be the best of the best originally, back to back going on there. And I mean, ESL Katowice, first place going on.
tons of online places, qualified for the Fortnite World Cup a number of times as the duo, and Brush and Sizlucky as well, representing Tempo Storm, and they have been very strong in terms of their teamwork.
Yeah, but I do want to say I think Leno and Barl are definitely an underrated pair. A lot of these teams coming out of NA West are so because they are so mechanically gifted and they're doing things faster than I think anybody has really ever seen on this sort of level. So Leno and Barl, somebody look out for it.
And they say they want to put NA West on the map. And after that, the last pair, we have Nate Hill and Funkball. They've been around for ages, second place at TwitchCon, been representing as a duo, and they work so well together. We're going to throw it down to a floor to hear what they have to say ahead of the competition.
What's going on, guys? Jordan Fisher here, standing with Nate Hill and Funk. We've got two remarkably gifted duos here, which is fantastic. Nate, you are a bit of a multi-hyphenate. We can relate on that level. What I don't understand is how you've managed to balance training for something as high pressure as this while balancing the rest of your workload. What's that been like for you?
I've kind of given that side of my life up for a minute just for this tournament. I've had absolutely no life except for training for Fortnite for the past 2-3 months. So I guess there is no balance in between the two. It's just been all in on Fortnite for this.
Fantastic, thank you so much. And then the two of you have been competing together for quite some time. Have your strategies kind of shifted while you've been training for this?
Yeah, I mean, we've gone over like routes and like strats and where teams are dropping. So we've been like studying everybody and seeing what our best like option is. So it definitely has changed since the qualifiers, and I feel confident for the finals.
Fantastic. Well, we're all very excited to see you guys do your work. It's going to be fantastic. Get up there and slay out.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you so much there, Jordan, and you can tell they're ready to play. They've been on the stage, and they're confident in their ability. Now, our next group has a number of players who you'll be seeing for the first time today, but you'll also be seeing tomorrow because they qualified for the solos competition. We'll kick it off with the Gambit boys, Flexi and Letwick, followed up with Crew and Chapix, Daedra and Miz of Gamers Origin, and then Nyrox and Aqua. Some of the best pairs coming out of Europe. The Gambit boys are known for being very aggressive, very pointed, and have fully qualified. So both of them playing not only together in the duos, but will be facing off in the solos competition. Crew qualified for solos as well. Chapix just barely missing it a number of times. The Valhalla Vikings duo is incredible together. They are honestly one of my favorites in terms of the duo side of the competition and deserve a lot more credit and notoriety than they get.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Daedra and Miz as well. They played at ESO Katowice with Zayton Saf that you mentioned before. They played incredibly well out of the French community. So we'll be looking out for them, the Gamers Origin boys. And then Nyrox and Aqua. More can you say about these guys? These guys have been on the rise, and a lot of people are starting to realize how good they are.
They are incredibly consistent in one of the toughest regions, averaging one of the best placements. And additionally, we will see Aqua tomorrow as well, qualified in the solo competition. We have a chance to catch up with them right before they take the stage. Jordan, what do they have to say?
What's up? We've got Nyrox and Aqua here. Nyrox, you guys have both been playing around with a bunch of different duos from quite some time. What is it about this duo, this pairing here, that you think has made it all the way to the finals for you?
It's the skill of Aqua that's made it. He's really good in every single aspect of the game, and that's probably why we succeed that much.
Fantastic. And Aqua, what do you think makes this the perfect match for you guys?
Yeah, we're gonna win.
Fantastic, great. Mechanically gifted, comms are fantastic. We're gonna see a lot of that here in just a bit.
So that's exactly what you want to hear going into a duos competition, is your teammate having confidence, and he knows Aqua's already qualified for solos as well. He's going to play there tomorrow, so we'll see that pair going forward. We're going to continue down on the floor with our next group. It's Cease and Elevate, Landjock, Punisher, Wishy DP, and Gustavox, and then Little and Jay. And then finally, Mega and Dubs, as you can see on the left side of your screen right now.
And I just want to say right away, Cease and Elevate don't get enough credit. There was a post on the competitive subreddit about it. Cease, across all the skirmishes at the beginning, was the most consistent eliminator above every other one of the quote-unquote more popular or better players. Cease was above all of them, and he has dominated in the entire competition. He's also qualified for solos.
Yeah, and then Landjock and Punisher right after them. This is a duo that, again, also doesn't get enough credit. But hey, there's 50 of them here today. Landjock, one of the people that a lot of the community thinks has the best creative 1v1 skills in honestly the pro community. So we'll see whether he can convert that today. It's another stage. It's a lot of differences. It's going to go down to it.
And then Wishy and Gustavox 8 are known for being very aggressive and executing pinch maneuvers incredibly well. If you isolate from your teammate for a second, and we're talking one grid space, they will take advantage. And then Little and Jay, the original S2 boys coming out of NAOS, who said, hey, we might be young, but we'll go against anyone. We don't care who it is. We'll push you. We'll take your wall. We'll take the high ground. We are going to beat you. And then talking about taking the walls, Vala.
Yeah, talking about taking the walls. Mega and Dubs are in this group too, and there's so much to say about them, but we're just gonna sit down and find out more about Dubs.
My name is Danny Walsh. You guys know me as Dubs. And I'm 16 years old. What I love about dirt biking is the freedom you have. It's like using a Rift late game, having freedom of going wherever you want. Time to get back to grinding. All right, boys, I'm back. Let's run it. A day in a life with Dubs. First thing I do is wake up at 12, hop in the shower, get some food.
What time are you gonna start gaming now?
Probably in like 10 minutes.
All right.
And then I'll do some aim training. This is one of the maps that I do. This helps with like AR aim. I hop in creative, warm up my builds, and then scrim for the rest of the day. I was a skateboarder. I skateboarded every day. My brother, he taught me how to skateboard when I was young.
I guess he thought it was cool because I was doing it, and I would take him to all the different skate parks I would go to.
So I was 13 years old, skateboarding at Woodward Skate Camp. And the first day I was there, I ended up breaking my femur, which I then had to go get a cast. I was in the cast for about a year.
It was a long road back for Danny. He was stuck inside. I had to do something, so he made him very comfortable and got him a good setup for gaming.
That's how I fell in love with gaming, because that's the only thing I could do.
I really never got him back on a skateboard after that, and he kind of found who he was. He really just blew up overnight.
If I hadn't broken my leg, I would not be where I'm at right now. I'm a professional Fortnite player.
Oh my, you fixed it up! This is heart alone.
Solos is my strong point.
Okay, my heart's racing right now.
You can dominate by going for picks or playing for high ground. The first time I qualified for the World Cup, it was crazy. People were shocked at what I had just done.
He was not with an organization. They were thinking, who is this guy? He's got to be cheating. Nobody knows who he is. He was on a mission to prove them wrong.
Dubs said, look, I've qualified. I'm just going to come back and just flex on literally the entire region.
To prove them all wrong, I qualified 4 times for solos and once for duos and joined FaZe Clan.
Dubs consistently good.
I play with so much confidence. I just love the game so much that I just want to put every minute into grinding, so I can be the best player I can be.
That honestly, in retrospective, I know it was stressful when it happened, but it has to be the biggest compliment that you are quite literally so good, averaging just inside 5th overall with the solo placings, that the entire community thinks you're cheating. That you are that much better, that everyone's there. There's no way, and you saw it there. Him and Mega had one of the most ridiculous performances, racking up close to 50 points in their last 2 matches to qualify. And I mean, it was nuts, but now time to get into the next group.
Yeah, let's go ahead forward. The first pair is XXM and Mende out of China. And then following them up is Airwax and Nikov, Hunter and Kinstar, Leneuf and Kinton, SSK7 and Jamside, and then finally Volks and Parby on the right there.
And XXM and Mende were the only Chinese team to qualify through the open track, and then Airwax and Nikov, and then Hunter and Keenstar. The Solari brothers, the group, qualifying all within the same week, and Airwax taking his repeat Pro-Am title yesterday with RL Grime saying it was easy claps, 12 points clear of the South Korean duo. And then Leneuf and Quinton just recently being signed to Navi, representing them on the stage, looking to make a name for themselves, and they're hyper aggressive.
One of the duos I think a lot of people need to look out for, though, is SSK7 and Jamside, known for their aggressive style of play, always fighting for high ground earlier than most people, and then not giving it up. Nobody is going to be able to contest them off high ground. They get tons of eliminations because of it, but we'll see if that might bite them here today.
And you talk about insanely aggressive. Most people, you need to tag them and see shields broken or maybe white damage to go after them. Volks and Parby, if you move and they see a pixel, they're going, they raise all kinds of chaos in NA East when playing in the Trios tournament, and now we're gonna get a chance to talk to the aggressive Oceania duo down on the floor. Jordan, what do you have for us?
I've got Parby and Volks here, 2 of the most astonishing talents out of Oceania. You guys are coming all the way over from not only Australia, but New Zealand, facing off against some of the best talent, not only from your region, but the rest of the world. We've seen that there are different play styles from kind of everywhere. We all know this, but going into this, how do you prepare? How does one prepare up against these play styles?
I just eat a fruit salad, just have a shower, get off, get some water, have a fruit salad, and then just try to get hyped.
Love it, regardless of the region. That's great. Fruit salad, you can take care of NA East and in EU and everybody. Now, the most astonishing thing here is this record, this elim record of 102 that you guys had, the single most elims in 1 week. I don't think anybody would expect for either of you guys to be super W key today because of what you're up against, but what is your strategy going into this?
Just play slow and just hopefully make it to endgame and just get high. That's basically it.
Beautiful. Well, we're going to see it here very soon. We can't wait.
I'm disappointed that routine of 2 fruit salads in the morning isn't going to give them the confidence to continue what we know and love about them, the W key mentality.
I honestly thought he was just going to turn and look at Jordan and be like, a W key, holding forward the whole time, but they know when to play intelligently and play for height. Let's get into our next group. Again, is qualifiers from NA East and NA West. We have Tetra and Eclipse, Ronaldo and Ziff, Sean and Aiden and Rote, DW and Blue Team. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to Eclipse in particular. I've hopped into his backpack a number of times personally when we had to do some tests, and they had a phenomenal qualifying week. And then Ronaldo and Ziff averaging some of the highest placements in the week they played. They popped off at TwitchCon, came out of nowhere where people were like, who are you guys, qualifying through in the first run, going to look to make a run at it here today.
And then what more can you say about Sean and Aiden? I mean, this is a duo that we've seen time and time again, a favorite out of NA West that week. Then they came out of, they clutched up and did amazing things. Both of them took part of our Pro-Am tourney yesterday.
And then Rohit, DW and Blue Team, one of my personal favorite duos. They came together after week 4 saying, hey, we need to do something different. Rohit came onto the scene during the Winter Royale, qualified through the open format, and looks to punish people's mistakes at all points of the game. You talk about hyper-aggressive players early, you can't stop him from going, but the one person who does is Blue Team, known for his calm decision-making, kind of turning off all emotions and just making the right decisions. They have a fantastic pair in chemistry, and I mean, I'm excited to hear what they had to say leading into the competition. It's going to be just absolutely amazing.
Fantastic. We've got Blue T and Rote DW here, 2 beyond incredibly mechanically gifted players here. Blue T, you've placed consistently consistently in the top 15 over the last year from the Winter Royale qualifiers, the Secret Skirmish, and top 5 in the Share the Love event. How are the two of you together going to work to secure this #1 spot today?
I'm just going to give this guy a bunch of call-outs, make sure he's safe and alive, and once we hit late game, he's just going to slay out.
Slay out away. We can't wait.
It's going to be so incredible to see if they can make that dynamic work on the stage. They have such great teamwork, and they have distinct play styles over the phases of the game, and if they can get rolling, they might be able to challenge towards that top. Now on to our next group, because we're excited to keep the introductions rolling. It's Item and Derox, Oslo and Bad Sniper, 4ZR and No Word, Red Rush and Snappy, and then Yu Wang and KBB. This is a bunch of guys out of Europe, and then the Chinese qualifiers coming out of the Tencent track. And I mean, some of these guys are incredibly skilled. Item and Derox with that ridiculous 41 elimination victory royale during the semifinals, and then they carried over the performance into the Sunday.
Yeah, one of the only times we saw actually consistency from the semifinals carry over into the finals. But another team that actually started breaking through in the finals towards the end, which led them to qualify, is Oslo and Bad Sniper. And I think something very interesting about this group, or this duo particularly, they're going to be contesting at Tilted Towers, and they are very proficient at doing so.
They will be in the fray, and if Bad Sniper gets a sniper in his hands, here's a joke. His name online is actually not Bad Sniper, because he hits all of those shots. Will be looking to make them pay. Now 4ZR and Nord, also another very aggressive pair, but kind of just like to chill out at times. They like find themselves on the edge, take the rifles. If they know they have an advantage, they go. We've seen them before as well in the Winter Royale.
Yeah. And then on the bottom right there, Yu Wang and KBB, they came out of the Tencent track, which was a competition that was hosted out in China. And so I think a lot of people didn't see those games and don't really know what these two are all about. Let's continue and find out more about them.
心情的话，非常亢奋吧，就可以跟各国的选手切磋。如果想跟一个队来对抗的话，我更希望是跟芒果那队。
要对游戏的喜欢，对吧？然后对游戏的理解，
还要有一个信仰吧，就是想成为冠军的一种念头。毕竟职业就是要奔着冠军去的。
喜欢这款游戏，然后对游戏的理解程度，然后对自己的技术非常的自信。
心情就感觉跟做梦一样，但这一切都是靠自己努力得来的，就非常的好。冠军等着我们！
So happy to see their level of excitement and to be here representing China through those Tencent track. It was amazing to watch them play in those games. A distinct different style, but also very built-in rifle-centric. Will be one of 2 Chinese teams representing. And now into our last section of qualifiers. These were the guys who ended up qualifying in the final week. The last chance to be there. It's Slacks and Keys, Calculator and Macwood, Zone and King, Epic Whale and 4DR Storm, and then Vinny and Zexro. And I mean, so many of these guys we could talk about right now, but the one I want to focus on, King and Zone, coming out of Argentina. They are ridiculously aggressive, know how to go full send, and I think people will be surprised. They're able to execute on a level where if they get rolling, it's going to be very hard to stop them.
It's one of the same situations as the kind of Chinese duo, at least at smaller extent, because a lot of these guys don't know how they play, don't know how to respond when the play style that they haven't gone up against is shown. But one duo I want to talk about is Epic Whale and Storm, because this is one of the few fully qualified duos. We'll see both of them tomorrow, and what a way to do it, because they came together at the last second as well.
They came together in the final week knowing it was their last opportunity, and they wanted to be there. They wanted 2 seats on the stage in each one of the competitions that really separated themselves. But speaking of somebody who separated themselves, Zexro and Vinny. Zexro, the original pioneer of the My Wall Now. I'm going at you. I will win the game with 16+ eliminations, and there's nothing you can do about it. Him and Vinny broke through everything, coming over not only Zexro's wrist issues, but a little bit of kind of turbulence between them. They're actually not even going to be dueling after this competition, so this will be a last hurrah, and let's see what Zexro and Vinny have to say.
We've got Vinny and Zexro here. Very excited to see you guys. I know that a lot of people are thrilled and excited to see what you guys have planned for today. And you both have been competing both very well in duos and solos over the course of the year. How do you think that the competition today is going to compare to the rest of the competitions that you've had leading up to the scrims, whatever the case may be?
For sure, the competition's definitely going to be hard today. Probably the hardest competition yet, but I'm very confident for us to succeed today. So
Awesome. Well, we believe in you guys. Now, Zexro, you told us after qualifying for the last week of duos that you were suffering from some tendonitis. Preparing for a competition like this, especially at such a high caliber, there's got to be a lot of stress involved with that. How have you been physically preparing for today?
So basically, I didn't really play much, and then I would just VOD review and everything. I would just play on the qualifier days, take a lot of a leave, you know, and then it started going away at the end, and then qualified, so we're chilling.
Fantastic. Well, we're all really excited to see you guys. I know that a lot of people are, a lot of TSM fans here and all over the world. It's going to be a great day.
There you have it. It's proof that it's not all about just grinding and playing all the way through. You got to do your VOD review. You got to take care of your body, get those wrist stretches in. That's Zexro's story there. We'll see how they perform today. We've got one final group of duos to let on the floor. It's going to be Serpent and Hype, Wolfies and Rojo, Skite and Vato, 4 Wins and Tux, Kluja and Thomas HT, and then finally Puz and Ming.
I mean, there's so many players in here you can call out. Serpent and Hype were the original. Can you translate it to Sunday? They won so many of those semifinals, and in the last week, were able to do it. I got an opportunity to actually talk with Rojo in the practice room, and he says he's excited to be here, wants to play, wants to get on the stage, and knows he'll be able to enact their game plan. He wouldn't tell me what it was, and I wouldn't leak it anyway. Though the stream duo, kind of a little bit of parity there between Vinny and Zexro. Skite battling a ton of wrist issues and then able to overcome it, and I got to speak with him as well, and he's like, I'm just happy. I'm glad I'm here, man, and there was a fantastic post he did about it.
Yeah, he had that Twit Longer where he basically went through how he lost his confidence because of his wrist issue and then gained it back because of the support of all you guys at home who supported Skite through his journey, and the French community doing so as well. Moving on forward, Vorwin and Tux, somebody I think is very interesting because they qualified and moved through the entire, they switched duos at the last second, so same thing.
And then you have Kluja, a player who qualified as well for the solo competition, and Thomas, his partner from Singularity. And the final duo, Puz and Ming, representing from South Korea. Unfortunately, there was an Asian team who was unable to make it. Puz and Ming having won in the Week 8 qualifier where there wasn't an additional spot. And on top of that, their consistent placements earned them that alternate spot coming out of the regions. We had an opportunity to talk with them and have a package set up, and let's see what they had to say.
저는 밍이라고 하고 이제 아시아에서 진출하였습니다. 저는 퍼즈라고 하고 아시아에서 진출한 사람입니다. 가장 좋은 성적을 내서 대체 선수로 뽑혀서 왔더니 이제 아시아에서 듀오 한 팀이 진출을 못해서 저희가 이제 좋은 기회를 얻게 되어서 이렇게 진출하게 되었어요. 온라인에서 상금을 이렇게 받으면서 같이 경쟁하는 게 마음에 들었다. 유럽 선수들과 해보고 싶었어. 저도요. 게임하기 전에 이제 계속 어떻게 게임을 플레이할지 생각을 하고 하는 거죠. 그냥 연습을 최대한 시간에 맞게 활용을 하고 최대한 많이 노력을 하다 보면
I mean, I can only imagine what is going through their heads. First, taking the top spot in a week where there wasn't a qualification spot, and then having one of the most consistently best placements, then being chosen as an alternate, and finding out you're going to be competing, having a chance to represent Asia and South Korea here, and they are very good. They're known for playing aggressively, trying to find a side of a zone, box themselves up, and get some shots towards the side of the rotation. If they can get that position, don't expect them to not be dangerous, because they will make some waves, and that's the competition. Those are all the players. Those are the 100 best Fortnite players in the world, the 50 best duos. And now there's a duo in particular. We talked about it. The loudest duo when they're announced. They want to be the loudest duo when all is said and done. We have Mitro and Mongrel down on the floor. Jordan, what do they have to say?
We are all so excited to see these two play and honestly to hear their comms. It's one of my favorite things when I watch these guys play. Now, competing online and competing at a LAN is two very, very different things, obviously. What is the preparation like going into competing at a LAN together?
Competing at LAN is definitely different. Personally, I like it more just because I like the environment, but online is easier, but I don't know, I just like LAN more.
Fair. You can't beat the energy in a stadium like this. A lot of people are really excited and stoked to be here, and especially to see you guys play. We can't wait.
Thank you so much, Jordan. And now just those guys, they sound excited, but that's it. Enough from us talking. The 50 best duos in the world are on the stage competing for their share of $15 million, Balla. And I mean, 6 games away from winning $3 million to the top duo.
Just think about that. 6 games, and then we'll find out who is the best duo in the world. Hands down, no question about it, the best. 6 games. We're gonna do that real soon.
The duos world champions will be crowned, but that's it. The pre-show is over. Enough from us up here. We'll be breaking down gameplay later. We're gonna toss it on inside to kick the show off. You guys have a good one.
Watching across the world on the biggest stage. Every single player out here an absolute gamer, Jack. We've never seen anything like this. Oh my God! Mark did it burn! Oh! That could be the difference! Here we go! The key to a door! Oh! Okay, I'm gonna lose my freaking voice.
It's amazing. It's like, you feel so free, it's ridiculous. And then we just kind of watched, like, our names pop up on the screen. It was pretty surreal.
It was a huge sigh of relief. All the hard work we did just finally paid off. We were kind of going nuts.
He has to go forward though, because there's a change in elevation. He finds the first shot, can't find the second, and he does! He wins it! HP left!
That is why he's a World Cup qualifier!
This is it right here, the 1v1! Who is the other player that's
He takes what? Damage to himself, and all of a sudden it's complete chaos.
What a win! Victory Royale! GG!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from my hometown, baby. New York City, where you at? Where you at? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. This is it, people. The moment that we've been waiting for. 10 weeks of competition leads to this. I'm your host, Golden Boy, and I couldn't be more pumped to be here because we're about to see the greatest Fortnite players in the world go up against each other in